Come on. Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up, bro.
Yeah. Are you talking about me?
So Gavin Newsom has debuted a new relatable persona. Gavin Newsom, who is from San Francisco, whose father was an attorney for the billionaire Getty family. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is actually just a humble kid from the ghetto. Yes, that's right. Gavin Newsom grew up hopeless, but for the salvation that was basketball. So this is his new story, that he grew up basically as a latchkey kid, playing basketball, hoop dreams, and eating Kraft mac and cheese. Let's hear him out.
But also, you know, it was also about paying the bills, man. And it was just like hustling. And so I was out there kind of raising myself, turning on the TV, started, you know, just getting obsessed, you know, sitting there with the, you know, the Wonder Bread and 5 stacks of,
Hey, it's
you know,
like the White
peanut
Stack
butter
5 story.
But you know it, man. Come on. Kraft macaroni and cheese. That's how I grew up, bro.
Are you talking about me?
No,
Young
that's
YG.
it.
YG,
But
man, I knew it.
every day in the backyard, just bouncing the basketball, throwing the ball against the wall until the ball is just like fraying, man, and your arms
Entertaining
falling
yourself.
off. That's it, whole thing. So just and then, you know, then this student that was shitty student is in the back with his head down, all of a sudden started throwing the baseball a little faster than everyone else, and started, you know, make a few free throws because I was sitting there practicing 500 of them every damn night. And in high school, I look up in the stands, my dad's back up there.
Okay, dope.
And it's like, man, and then he's bringing his friends and you're captain of the team and you're like, gee, you know, and it just saved me and it got me into college.
So the only part of this that I believe is that he was a bad student, because Gavin Newsom reportedly scored a 960 on the SAT. Now, the SAT is easier than it used to be, but that is a shockingly bad score. I mean, that actually gives me a little bit of insight into the intellect of Gavin Newsom, because I had sort of thought that he was a high-functioning sociopath. That's just my personal opinion. But maybe he's more of a low-functioning sociopath. Like, maybe his sociopathy is born out of just being kind of stupid and thinking that he's pulling the wool over people's eyes when anybody with functioning eyes can see that he's lying. I mean, that's just what it looks like to me. If not lying, very selectively tailoring the history of his childhood. And I like this thing that Democrats do when they try to appeal to the people, and it's always like slipping into sort of a black accent and then referencing food. So it's like, yeah, well, I ate Wonder Bread and Kraft mac and cheese. And those are things that poor people do, right? So vote for me, I guess. I understand you. I mean, this doesn't, even if this were true, it really wouldn't make him more likable to me. Like, I don't care if you ate Kraft mac and cheese growing up, good for you, but I guess some people do, and it's convincing to them. But it reminds me of when Hillary Clinton went on the Breakfast Club when she was campaigning and said, like, yeah, I keep hot sauce in my purse, like, ha ha, you know, I'm so relatable, aren't I? Please find me relatable, please vote for me. And some people have been pulling up documents from Gavin Newsom's history which tell a different story, so I want to look at those. All right, so this one had enough money for Burberry sweaters, though. And it's Gavin Newsom, senior in high school, most stylish. And he's there peering at a newspaper with his Burberry scarf and his, ever so gently tousled hair and everything. It's a good photo. It does not reek of poverty, I'll say that. Okay, and then this one, breaking news. A photo of Gavin Newsom and his childhood street gang from the San Francisco hood has been found. It's a miracle he didn't end up just another statistic. Gavin Newsom with Paul Mohan, Andrew Getty, and Bill Getty posing for a Children of the Rich feature that ran in the San Francisco Chronicle on December 12th, 1991. And again, Gavin Newsom has his model face on. He's smizing for the camera. There's a lot of stories that Gavin Newsom could tell about his life, but to position himself as like a surprising success story, beating the odds, and I don't think it's gonna work if that's the cornerstone of his campaign leading up to 2028, because We all know that he's interested in running. He said as much the other day that he's thinking about it, which everyone has known for years. Like, he is cold ambition personified, and he'll really just try anything. So yes, the moral of this story is that Gavin Newsom will apparently do or say anything to get people to vote for him, which is, you know, pretty obvious judging by his political trajectory. But Gavin Newsom is not the only Democrat who has adopted a new persona in preparation for upcoming elections. We have Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So there are rumors that AOC may be trying to replace Chuck Schumer. She gave a very nervous and weird response to Caitlin Collins when questioned on the subject. She kind of screamed at her and said, "No one cares! No one cares! Why are you asking this?" There's also rumors that AOC is considering a presidential run. And here she is giving a speech at a Zohran Mamdani rally, and she slips into a bit of a pandering accent herself.
This city was built by the Irish escaping famine, Italians fleeing fascism, Jews escaping Holocaust, Black Americans fleeing slavery and Jim Crow, Latinos seeking a better life, Native people standing for themselves, Asian Americans coming together in Queens, in Brooklyn, in the Bronx, in Manhattan, in Staten Island, in this country, in a vision to build the freest, toughest, and greatest city on earth.
Do you think they picked people out of the crowd for, like, the perfect shot in the background here? Like, they were like, yeah, we want 3 Sikhs, we want an Asian guy, we want a black guy, we want a woman of vaguely cultural heritage. I think probably. Then again, I mean, I don't really know. Maybe those are the demographics of the people who came to the rally. But I want to watch this one more time with the volume off, just to watch AOC gesticulate wildly. Okay, she's ramping up. She's getting excited. Fingers out. Yep. The energy's building. The energy's building. She's pointing. She's gesturing. Or she's hopping now. She's hopping. She's so excited about New York City and all the immigrants. Yep. Okay. So this isn't the most dramatic example, probably, of AOC, quote-unquote, code switching, but you can definitely hear, like, a sort of, you know, ethnic lilt in her speech here that she puts on when she's speaking to certain crowds. Most Democrats do it. Some Republicans do it, too. Maybe subconsciously, to some degree, I would buy that, but I think Hillary Clinton and Kamala were both pretty egregious with the way they would just completely switch accents when talking to certain crowds. AOC is pretty bad about it, too. And defenders of AOC will tell you that, you know, this is just code switching. This is what people of color have to do to survive, you know, is to learn to speak the white man's tongue. You know, good old Alex Cortez or whatever she went by back in the day. But it's obviously just a shameless attempt to seem like one of the people which politicians almost universally try to do. I think one thing people like about Donald Trump is that he doesn't have any interest in seeming like one of the people. Like, he is very obviously wealthy and lives in these, like, opulent apartments and never tries to seem like he's, you know, just this working class kind of guy who, oh shucks, somehow stumbled into the White House. Like, if you look at his stunts during his campaign where he worked at McDonald's or he was in the garbage truck, those were funny just because of the obvious glaring contrast between those jobs and who Donald Trump is. And Donald Trump still speaks to working class people, a lot of working class people, because I think he speaks very plainly and does not try to disguise, you know, his intent in these layers of, like, political maneuvering. But I've really never seen him pander in this manner, in this extraordinarily desperate manner, and I think that is what throws people off who are paying attention, who watch these sort of things from Newsom or from AOC. And I give Mamdani a lot of crap for eating with his hands, eating rice with his hands, doing photo shoots where he's shoving rice into his mouth with his hands, because that is gross. However, that is in the same vein of speaking with a mildly foreign accent or pretending that, you know, basketball saved you from juvenile detention or like slinging crack on the streets when you were young. It is just this appeal to being just like you, just like me, you know? Okay, those are not my circumstances, but you understand, like, it's their image of a normal person. And for Zohran, it's obviously ethnic pandering, but it's also pandering to white liberals who see this sort of thing, eating with your hands or like, you know, wearing a turban or listening to a certain kind of music, and they say, oh wow, like that person is cultural. Wow, I like that, you know? It's just shameless and desperate and fake, but I may be in the minority here. Certainly I would be in the minority in New York City, because it seems like Zohran Mamdani will be the next mayor. So all I have to say is good luck to New York with Zohran as mayor and AOC in Chuck Schumer's spot. If that happens, that's going to be quite a state. I'm curious to see how things will go there. But then again, AOC may do us a favor, run for president against Newsom and Kamala, potentially. And that would be pretty funny, too. I would love to see AOC attack Kamala on live TV. Okay, those are my thoughts for today. Leave a comment in the comments section below. Give this video a like. Hit subscribe if you are mi gente. And I will see you in the next one.